Brand new week, July 28th, the final few days of July. Where does the time go? Where does the time fly? Jason Portuondo alongside Donovan Bailey, the man that is always running things. What's going on? You good?
Another day, man. Another day. Obviously, start of a new week.
Mm-hmm.
Weather's great. I'm still in Jamaica. Still watching the great highlights that you're sending to me, and what these kids are doing. I'm looking forward to a big week in track and field. And yeah, just all in all, a good start to a week. So let's get it.
All right, let's get it. Yeah, I mean, we got another young name to add to the fold. Wow, Shimizu. This just came out of nowhere. We will discuss and bring you up to speed, 10-second speed, if you will, if you're not privy to that conversation. Blake is able to win. We'll explain that situation. We'll talk a little Grand Slam. There are a ton of trials coming up, DB. I mean, you name it, they've got it. I looked, there was about 8, I think, or 9 different nations having the trials coming up. So it's a busy, busy next few days. As always, we like to start at the top with our race of the week, brought to you by our good friends at Biopods. Check them out, biopods.com, a chance to empower your every step.
This time they do get away. Now it's Donovan Bailey trying to pick up runners. Donovan Bailey is putting on the surge. Adam Bolden in the lead. Here comes Bailey. He's got it. 9.84, a world record for Donovan Bailey and a gold medal.
Happy anniversary to you. Happy anniversary to you.
No,
Okay, I'll stop it. Yes, DB, it's your anniversary week. Officially yesterday, but we were celebrating greatness all week long into the start of August. Man,
thanks, man.
it never gets tired hearing that, man. 984.
Race of the week. I got race of the week. Isn't that
You
nice?
got race of the week.
I got race of the week 29 years later. It's good.
It's still in
anyway,
it, man.
Hey guys, Jason and Mike, thank you for that. Yeah, I mean yeah, 29 years ago, being recognized as the greatest sprint on earth, the greatest sprint in history, the greatest one to ever wear a Canadian uniform. I mean, I think it's definitely, I am blessed and certainly humbled to share an incredible sporting moment with my family, friends, fans, country, culture, sport. So thank you guys for that. Yeah, why not? Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I hope that hope inspires, I hope this inspires people that there's no limits to what it is that they can accomplish. So if you're an athlete and you're young and you want to pursue being an athlete, get out, put the work in and be disciplined. If you're anything else, lawyer, doctor, journalist like Jason, producer like Mike, whatever it is that you're trying to do, please use my race or my accomplishments as maybe as a factor that there's no limits to what your accomplishments can be.
Just one question. When you crossed the stripe, what's the first thing you thought of? What's the first thing that went through your mind after you won?
I think that I think I stared back at the clock and I looked at I just saw 9.8 and I was just happy that I'd actually broken my previous record.
Right.
And that's really what it was. I mean, I knew that I hadn't executed the race properly. I knew that my first 30 was bad. So probably the first thing I was thinking about was the criticism that I had for myself and the discussion I was going to have with my coach. I mean, everything else was irrelevant. I mean, was I capable of running faster? Absolutely. I mean, I think that I got asked a bunch of questions in the interview yesterday. What would have happened if I actually got a proper first 30 meters? And I'm like, well, that's speculation. That's we get to live get to live that forever, man, because everyone can, you and I sit and have opinions on what we see when people don't execute properly. And certainly, I mean, I had to answer that question yesterday. But the thing is, I don't have the time. I know that Dan Paff, I know that my coach thought that would run between 961 and 974.
Well, I'll tell you what, 984 was scintillating back then. It is scintillating to this day. because you don't get times that quick. And yeah, you know what? You talk about Toronto Mike. I can say for myself as well. Toronto Mike, by the way, is our producer. Wow, it's hey, we're in the air of greatness, so we appreciate you and all the things that you continue to do off the track and just be a living legend, inspiration to many youngsters out there. So congratulations once again, 984 anniversary week, if you will, right
Thank you, my
here
brother.
on Donovan Bailey Running Things.
Big respect. Big
Yeah,
respect.
of course. I mean, right back at up, 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 up. Ackeem Blake, speaking of Jamaicans, he was able to win his Berlin meet recently enough, 10:05. So that just goes to show you, 10:05. We're talking about your 984, and that was from, as they would say, donkey years ago.
Well, listen, first of all, don't age me that much, man. It wasn't donkey age. But here's what happens. The clock is never wrong,
Right.
right? The clock is never wrong. And I'll tell you this about the Berlin meet. It's probably one of my favorite places. It has been one of my favorite places to visit, but definitely one of my favorite places to visit, but also an incredible city of athletics. I mean, that's where the stadium that this is held in is where Jesse Owens won in 1936. So I'm just saying to you, though, from a historical factor, it holds so much. And I don't want to digress, from talking about Ackeem.
Right.
So I probably should do that now. 10:05 right now for him is great. Don't know what the temperature was because sometimes it could get cool in Berlin, or sometimes a little rainy. Other
Mhm.
times it's fantastic. It's fantastic weather. But I got to tell you this: at 10:05 at this point, all these guys are doing is executing. Jason, last week you and I talked about, and I guess we'll discuss, the real trials coming up, which is the U.S. Um, the Jamaicans are out. No, the
Yeah.
trials are done. People are more relaxed now. The team's made. The Jamaican men certainly are asserting themselves and letting everybody under. Imagine this: every single one of the top Jamaican sprinters, it seems like every week or every other week, they're just sending messages. They're
Yep.
just sending messages to people to say, "Yo, here's the deal. We were dominant at one point. We're gonna be dominant again. We're letting you all know that there's just not one guy coming at you. The whole squad is coming at you.
Right.
So I think that with Akeem, it's expected that he's a 9'8" guy.
Right.
But you can see the ease in which a lot of the athletes who do not have trials or who have already made the team, already have their tickets booked to Japan, you can see the ease in which they're competing and how they're getting ready for the championship. So, man, I mean, I'm actually dying to see what happens at trials for the U.S. and then see what happens after that between their trials and the games. But for now, I think the Jamaican men's sprint dominance is fantastic.
Yeah, definitely back for a while there. There's a bit of a lull on this program. We didn't talk much about the Jamaicans, which is just weird. But yeah, so he wins in 10:05. Germany's Owen Ansah was second, 10:18. Nigeria's Udodi Onwuzuruke was third in 10:22. Hey, don't forget, Blake, what was it, about a month ago or so, ran that personal best 9:88. Speaking of nationals in Jamaica. So listen to this. So Brian Lavelle is 21, right? Kashane
Right.
Thompson, 24. Oblique Seville, 24. Ackeem Blake, 23. Even Ron Watson, you want to throw him in the mix, 23. So all these
Of
guys
course.
are all sub 25 when it comes to age.
Well, you got so what they're looking at again, when you're thinking about it. I mean, it happens. I mean, I know that things happen in tranches. The Canadians were. I mean, I'm just talking about like we were dominant. The Brits were dominant. The
Mhm.
U.S. was dominant. The Jamaicans were dominant. I think technically that's only three countries, really. Um, yes, the four countries: the Brits, Jamaicans, the U.S., and of course the Canadians. Um, yeah, I mean they're sending messages, bro, and I think that what you're looking at the ages that you just mentioned is the next 10 years of dominance. These kids just got to stay healthy, and obviously in Jamaica, there's kids coming out every year. I mean, I told you I saw the kid. I think his name's Gary Card. I'm waiting to see what he's going to do. Like he's young too. I'm waiting to see what he's going to do next year, or the year after that. So I'm just saying to you again, man. The excitement never stops, and I'm waiting to see what's up.
Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. And like you said, you can't sleep on it because as you sleep, somebody else at work and coming
Every
after
day.
you. So that's the way it is every day. You are exactly right. Those of you just tuning in, we are glad that you did stick with us. Jason Portuondo alongside Donovan Bailey. This is Donovan Bailey Running Things. Continue to like, share, follow, download, subscribe, be a part of this podcast. So many young superstars on the rise, and we're going to add a name to the mix by Sorato Shimizu. That's the name we want to talk about next. I had no idea about this Japanese team phenom, but now a lot of us know who he is after putting up a spectacular time in Hiroshima. 10 seconds flat, DB. And, he's coming after Gout. He's putting him on notice. He's able to knock off a record that was shared by Christian Miller, the American, and a Thai runner named Bonsoon. Bonsoon, I believe is the way you pronounce it, or Boonsun. But they both previously ran 10:06. I mean, we know of Sue. I think his all-time best is 9:83, I want to say, Chinese runner. But man, this is phenomenal. Every week we're talking about a new young star, and we're really spanning the globe.
Dude, I was watching the race, and I'm just, and I'm saying to you, one, these are young little skinny kids, right? So I'm like, oh, come on, Jason, what are you sending me this for? What is this? I mean, and I'm like, oh my God. First of all, that young, executing the way he did, and then staying relaxed and just and really just driving through the line. Amazing. Again, I don't know if it's the shoe technology. I don't know. I don't know if it's the track. I don't know if it's the wind. I don't know if it's the lucky day. I don't know what it is. But you got to congratulate this kid, man. The clock is never gonna lie. The clock is never ever gonna lie. And at 16 years old, at 16 years old, I guess the great thing, which might become a problem, is that we didn't know this kid the day before he ran. Now the whole world's talking about it, including me. So here's what happens. The spotlight's going to shine on him. And so what you're going to have is Lachlan Kennedy, and you're going to have Gout, and you're going to have all of the young upstarts, all the young sprinters going to be like, so who is this Japanese kid? And why did he run so fast? And if that kid shows up, these guys are going to think about who's going to drop licks on him. I know that should be the case for all the superstars in sprints nowadays. Noah Lyles, the Fred Curleys of the world, all those guys. I'm sure they're looking at this kid going, oh, he ran 10 flat. Let him into the doghouse. Let's see if he can bite, right? But, I mean, listen, 10 flats, 16 years old, congratulations. Welcome, to, I guess, the big world of track and field. As I spoke earlier about limitations, the sky's the limit for this kid. At 16, I didn't run 10 flat, and I became the world record holder, Olympic champion, a world champion, fastest man of my generation. So this kid clearly has fantastic upside, and I'm going to be here watching alongside you, Jason, as a fan.
Yeah, I mean, this is incredible stuff. I mean, Gout, he ran a 10:17.
Right.
Both,
the stats man.
Yeah, both as a 20-year-old never even ran that fast. So this is just phenomenal stuff. You talk about 10. That's what Noah Lyles just ran the other day, right? When he was beat by Seville. So, man, this is phenomenal stuff. You're right, though. I don't know if it's the shoe, the track, the wind, the whatever. But the fact that a 16-year-old runs 10 flat, that's a world record for under 18. And I know some are going to say, well, what about Tate Taylor? Because he did win earlier this year. Yeah, I think he was like 9.92, but I don't know if they recognized that race or whatever the problem was, or something about it being unsafe.
Man, I forgot that, Jason.
Yeah, you remember
thank you for bringing that up. I think the other kid is Delvin. So the Americans, you have a bunch of, you have about 3 or 4 Americans, at least 2 or 3, each one of them. That have ran sub 10. I said, yeah, you're right. I don't know about what the readings are or whatever, but these are legit guys.
Right.
What I'm gonna enjoy, and I guess we'll get to in a minute, is that these high school phenoms out of America are going up against the big boys this week. So not only do you have these guys going up against the big boys, but I'm very certain that they're watching, all the kids, of whether you're Jamaican or Australian, South African, or Japanese, wherever it is that you are coming from, that you're lighting it up. At some point you're on a collision course with some of these young, incredible young athletes, out of America. So I'm waiting to see that.
Love the way we span the globe too, because it's not just about, North America. We're talking about the Caribbean. We're talking about Asia. We're talking about Australia. I mean, it's phenomenal. So, and you know what, DB? Track and field is gonna be around and outlive all of us. But the beauty is the future looks so good.
It is the oldest sport and will always be the oldest sport. All you need is 2 feet. You don't need a ball.
It's great. Yeah, which is exactly what it is. Yep. Yeah. Well, that's what we used to run back in the day, right, without the shoes. But there is a name that I am going to write down and keep an eye on. 16-year-old Sorato Shimizu. Yes. So congratulations once again. He knocked off the old record of Christian Miller and Pirapol Boon Sun of Thailand. Wow, great stuff there. I want to quickly get your take on Grand Slam situation because we've talked about this before. Got off to that great start, and everybody's like, "Wow, this is amazing stuff," and it was needed. Kudos to Michael Johnson, everybody else involved. But the last event in LA promptly stopped, and we were like, "Uh-oh, what's going on?" And now we're finding out that one of the suitors, one of the investors, pulled out, and that has been a huge problem. So there's still unpaid money to different venues, different athletes. So now there's a ton of question marks as to what the future is like for Grand Slam.
Well, we talked about it before, and I think that again, I think the facade is out there that Michael and I are rivals, or I don't like him. So number one, I'm going to say to you is that I will always commend him to start a league, to start something, to redefine what professional track and field looks like. So I've got to commend him. On the other hand, I'm also an investor. I'm an investor in startup. I raise money, I help raise money, and I, help take companies public. So I understand the difficulties in that. A company or a business failing in the first year is that's not news, right? That's not news. Yeah. The bottom line for me is at this point, I want to for me, the advice that I have for Michael and his team is this. And I did have a conversation with Michael's team before the league started of what my involvement could be or would look like. But I'm not involved, and certainly I'm a supporter. The number one advice that I have is for Michael is to obviously get some investors. I don't know if he had insurance on it or not, but to get some investors to make sure that he takes care of the kids, because at the end of the day, this does affect his legacy. If he presented an incredible idea, and the new stars show out, did all what they're supposed to do, and did not get paid. So at the end of the day, for me, I just trust and hope and pray that these guys will make money and settle with the athletes who have not been paid.
Do you think it's back next year?
Don't know. I'm just saying, like I said, a company, any startup, any business failing in the first year is not news.
Right.
So I'm hoping that it is. I don't know the depth of the role, or the help that they need. But yeah, don't know. Listen, I'm hoping that it does. I was actually getting used to it. To me, the business model of a 3-day track competition or 2-day track competition, that's not the Olympics or the World Championships, is crazy for me personally. But that's why I like the Athlos with Alex Ohanian in New York. I actually like that model.
Right.
Because he's presenting an incredible opportunity for athletes, female athletes at this point, to present to the audience. I like a 1 day, like that model. But Michael, it seemed to have been working, man. I mean, because I was tuning in every week and looking at the performance and also looking at the athletes who were enjoying competing in two events. So yeah, listen, Jason, listen, I hope it does. I hope that they have someone who can come and save them and get it through. But the number one thing for me now is get the cash and pay the athletes who
Yeah.
have already done their job.
Yeah, I'm always for trying something new. Good on Michael Johnson and company. Hopefully they
Mhm.
find a way to keep this going because it's needed. It's needed. Anything that's going to help bring spotlight or awareness to track and field for those of you that aren't a follower of this amazing sport. So fingers crossed, works out. Okay, a bunch of championships coming up for trials. I mean, we talked about Spanish, Brazilian, Nigerian, obviously Canadian, American. It just goes on and on and on and on. The U.S. trials. I'm looking forward to so much. And yes, we know that Noah is good for the worlds. We get it because he's the reigning champ in the one and the two. But there are so many things to look forward to on both the guys and the women's side. But I really want to focus on the women's side because Melissa Jefferson has really stamped herself as a serious threat this year. I mean, she's already beaten Julian and Sha'Carri. That happened at the Prefontaine Classic. She's beaten Gabby earlier this year at the Deuce. I mean, man, she is something else.
Well, yeah, I mean, we talked about it earlier, and I said to you that I wanted to see her compete against Julian, just to kind of see, kind of throw them both in the fire.
Yeah.
And yeah, you know what? I think that Melissa is the one. Melissa is the one to beat at U.S. trials. I mean, I think that if the Olympics, if World Championships going up right now, it would be Melissa and Julian 1-2. And it's who executes over the first 30 meters. But yeah, I'm looking forward to see what Melissa does. This is absolutely for her to lose. Her consistency this year, her ability to execute this year, her attitude, her happiness. You know what I mean? So it's amazing. So yeah, I believe that, and we talked about it's going to be interesting to see if Sha'Carri is going to show up. She's had a pretty inconsistent season. Don't know if it's an injury, don't know if mental, psychological, whatever. But the number one thing is that she has to make the team. And I'm hoping that whatever issues there might be, you do get to see the top American women, because certainly at Worlds I want to see the best Americans versus the best there is in the world.
Yeah. There are so many things to look forward to, and we've said it once. I said it twice, said a million times. It's like their own version of the Olympics. It is so
Right.
tough if you're American to make that squad. That's why you see a lot of Americans go and run for other places. It's just the competition pool is so deep in the U.S., right?
Well, that's expected. I mean, I think that that to make the finals, the U.S. trials,
Yep.
you will be representing any other country if you just make any other country in the world. I mean, obviously, for men's and women's in Jamaica, it's tough to make. But yeah, but there's not many other countries out there that if you just make the finals, you have the ability to make the finals at our world championships or Olympic finals. So yeah, you know that about the Americans, man. I mean, but at the end of the day, I think when you have three fantastic Americans, three Jamaicans, three Brits, I mean, that's 9 people already. But when you have 3 really good Americans, the television product that you see is so much better because because I always want to see the best against the best, and there's no athlete out there. I mean, I think a win is a win, or a gold medal is a gold medal. But you also want to compete against the very best because you don't want anyone to have an excuse.
Yep. Fair enough. Fair enough. All you want are for the athletes to be at their best that they can be. I'm not going to say 100% because I don't think anybody ever is 100%. But Sadie McLaughlin should mention as well, running in the 4 flat. She's not the reigning champion in the 4 hurdles. Femke Bol is. I think it was a knee injury that kept Sydney McLaughlin back then, no LeBron, out of competition. But yeah, I mean, the plot thickens. Is coming up, DB, from July 31st to early August. There's so much to look forward to. And speaking of the women, I just want to mention one name, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price. Obviously she was 3rd at the last Worlds. and behind Shikari and Sharika. So it was the sh. We haven't seen much of her. I know, me and my quirkiness. We saw her at Nationals. I think she's running one Diamond League, maybe Doha. I can't remember. Now it's been so long, back in like May or something like that. But I mean, I know this is her final season, but some are wondering about her preparation. Coming up to Worlds, we just haven't seen her.
Shelly be fine.
Of course,
Shelly,
I know.
Shelly,
Yeah.
listen, Shelly, it's her last season.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if she has an injury. I don't know if she's getting treatment.
But it's Shelly, you're right.
Right. But there's one thing I do know is that she's doing her utmost in preparation for them ladies in Japan. That's one thing. And if this is her last major championships and her last season, I'm very certain that the queen of track and field, which is her currently, she is not going to go to Japan and disappoint. I mean, or she's going to go there and lay it all out. And you saw her lay it all out the time she ran at the Jamaican trials. She ran sub 11. So at the end of the day, we know that sub 11 is going to make it into the finals. We know that. I mean, if you're in the wrong semifinals, so be it. But this woman has been consistent for her entire career, unless she's been injured. So at the end of the day, me not seeing her doesn't take anything away from the fact that I believe that she's preparing at the utmost to make her last hurrah memorable.
Yes, I agree. I'm just concerned about her lack of presence, but she owes us nothing. She owes the sport nothing. She has given us so much, so much. And I know her thing is afime, but it's afiwe because she has given us so much. And just having her around for one last hurrah.
Well, actually, Jason, let me correct you.
Okay.
See, afime is hers.
Yes.
Afiwe is her.
I stand corrected. All right. Great Sauce Company, great Canadian sauce company. Need to shout them out too because they've been a loyal sponsor of ours, and we're always looking for new sponsors. Jump aboard if you would like. They are the ones who help bring us each and every edition of the Anchor Leg, and today, no different.
A clean exchange with Donovan Bailey is pouring it on.
Burning! Yes, as part of this week's edition, we do have another couple of questions from the Ask Donovan segment. By the way, if you want to pose any questions to DB, hook us up. I love our loyal viewers and listeners because anytime we make a mistake or forget something or do something, they're right on us to tell us. Yes. We appreciate it. Keep it up. Hey, we're not perfect. We're going to miss stuff or say the wrong thing, so
keep us accountable.
Exactly.
We are accountable.
Boom. Exactly. Just like that. DB, cool story here about a guy. Just a quirky story here. He was camping somewhere in Canada, whatever else. The man ran into a cougar. What's the first thing you're going to do if you see a cougar?
Outrun the person that's there, unless it's my kids.
Exactly. And you can do that. I'm glad, by the way, you gave me the politically correct answer when I said cougar. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Anyways, same thing. Same. So here's what happened now. This young man had the cougar attack him. The cougar swiped at him. You know what he does? He punches the cougar in the face. Punches it right in the face. The cougar ran off. Like, I'm not trying to be any type of cruelty to animal thing, but, it's a means of survival. So I'm not saying go and hurt animals. No, I'm just saying he did what he had to do to survive. He stunned it and ran off. I'm thinking, I'm like you. I'm running, but this man punches a cougar in the face.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, so I might have to change my answer a little bit.
Okay.
If I have to defend, like if I have my kids with me, you know what I mean?
Right.
Sure. I'm going to draw for a piece of stick and lace
Exactly. Yes, something to protect yourself, right?
Someone's out there saying it's cruelty. You've got to be out of your mind. His life or mine. And me protecting my own? No. I'm drawing for a piece. I'm drawing for a 2x4 or branch or rock.
Something.
I'm going at it. 100%.
But that's my point. My point is you're going to look for something. You're going to draw for something. This guy just flat out punched it in the face. I'm like, who does that?
Why not?
Yeah, why not? Who does that? Last week's show, I wanted to shout out Venus Williams. I forgot, so I want to do it now. At the age of 45, DB, she was able to knock off her 23-year-old opponent at a tour level event. It was a DC Open, which went on to be won by a Canadian, Layla Fernandez. So need to shout her out. She's only 22. She beat Anna Kalinskaya 6-1 and 6-2. But Venus, 45 years of age, DB. She's 45. She's not playing a sport where you have teammates. This is like track and field. You're on your own. Phenomenal stuff.
Hey,
Yeah.
listen, for those of you who don't know the Williams sisters, shame on you. And at no point whatsoever, if they're 23, 53, 73, should you bet against the Williams sisters? Are you out of your mind? Are you seriously? Are you out of your mind? Hey, listen, congrats to Layla, man. That's awesome.
Yes, that was awesome for her. She's only 22, and yeah, she's doing some pretty good things there. But yeah, I think 45 is the second oldest to win on tour. I believe Martina Navratilova was 47 when she was able to win a tour level event. What are the chances?
Age is just a number.
Exactly. What are the chances of me getting on a plane, coming to Jamaica, you and I play a round of golf, and you and I on the same hole get a hole in one?
Well, I haven't played much golf this year, so.
So what, one in a billion?
Hey, first of all, we can always dream. How about that? We can always dream. You know,
Okay.
I'm in Jamaica. There's lots of planes that fly in. You're my boy. You can come in. We can play golf. So the opportunities there. The hole in one thing, that I don't know. I haven't had one yet, so I don't know.
So let me explain to you what I'm saying there. So there's a couple of players recently in Ottawa, Ontario, Ottawa, capital of Canada, for those of you who don't know. They played a round together and they both got a hole in one on consecutive shots. That is unreal. I mean, it's the odds of, I think the odds of making a back-to-back hole in ones is like 1 in 156 million or something like that. They're saying.
Right. I hope they went and bought a lottery ticket.
Yeah, very possible.
I hope both of those guys went and bought the Princess Margaret cottage and home raffle, because they'll both win cottage and homes. Here's the thing. We talk a lot, obviously, about track or sports or whatever, and yes, you've got to train hard and be disciplined and all of that, but you also got to be lucky and be blessed.
Sure, yeah,
you know what I mean. And this is definitely an indication of what being prepared is like, and also with a little bit of luck, and you're blessed.
Yes, unbelievable. Wow, phenomenal stuff. Congratulations to the one guy. It was his 7th hole in one, and he shot 68 that day, so that was no fluke. Okay, before we wrap,
68, come on. Wow.
Before we wrap, a couple of questions I got to pose. So the first one comes from Chichi Bud 31, and it says to you, DB, would like Mr. Bailey to explain again in hindsight how he feels about not taking on the 200 meters. Because he said, man, you had killer high-end pace.
It was twice as far as I wanted to go, and I was lazy. No, you know what? Dan always thought that I would be a better 200-meter runner. But Jason, the lactic acid in your legs and your butt and your shoulder. My God, man! Listen, it's you know what? I think that trying to eke out that 150, that a few 150s. Was tough in competition, but I'm telling you, the 200 meters would have been tough. And yes, I was so good in the 100 that I didn't need it. So the 200 meters to me was always the consolation prize. However, I pursue people to do both, because clearly you've got everyone that's ever ran the 100 has ran a pretty decent 200, including myself. I ran 3 200s in my whole career.
Wow.
But you can see that Carl was a really good Carl Lewis, Linford Christie, who are the top sprinters. I mean, Bolt, Justin Gatlin. I mean, all the guys that ran the 100 meters ran the deuce very well. In my era, I didn't need to.
Don't forget my man Johan Blake. So yeah, there's another one.
Johan Blake, absolutely. Yeah,
but you know what? I can see what they're getting at by posing that question, because you are the type of runner that closes on end, right? So the style suggests that that would be right in your wheelhouse, right? Not like you were a top high-end sprinter that fades at the finish. You're just fine in your legs. It seemed like at 100, right?
Yeah, maybe, but
not anymore.
But listen, for me, when I came, all the deuces I've ever ran, this is exactly what I've thought in my head, and would never supposed to be thinking. When I got up, well, first of all, I ran the first 100 meters and the 200 meters. For me, it's always terrible because I always think I'm gonna just fade and die. And
Right.
so when I come off the turn, all I keep thinking is, man, that's far. It's the only thing. It's the only thing in my head again. God, that's so far away, right?
Geez.
I'm not thinking execute and all that stuff. Yeah, so so clearly I didn't have the mindset to run the deuce.
Yeah. Well, there goes to show you mental is wow, so
100%.
dominant. Okay, so last question here. What's Donovan's take on this is coming from Learn, Change, Thrive Careers, MGM. I like it. Okay. Asking, what's Donovan's take on the recent discussions about Jamaica breaking the men's 4x100 meter record at World Championships this year? Is it reasonable to assert that this year's team could challenge the record if the team runs in this order? Blake, Saville, Lavelle, Kashane. What's your take?
God, man, you just mentioned all the firepower that Jamaica has right now. All the top four firepower. Do they have the capabilities of breaking the world record? Absolutely. Everyone does. But can they do it? Not sure. You have to understand, think about the team that broke it.
Yes.
Nesta Carter.
Yes.
9'8". You've got Johan 9'6". You've got Bolt 9'5". And then you have a sophomore. I'm saying that the numbers these four young men today have put up. Do they have the capabilities? Yes. Will they have smooth baton exchanges? Don't know. Will they work on it? Hopefully. Do I think that they'll win if they have that team and they get to stick around in Japan? Absolutely.
100%. And was that 2012, if I'm not mistaken? That
You're the stats guy.
Yeah, I'm the stats guy.
I forget you're the stats guy.
I think it's 2012.
We'll correct it next show.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 2012. But anyways, looking at their times going in terms of their best from those four to this four, it's doable. So I'm going to say yes. And appreciate the question. Once again, I like that. It's Learn, Change, Thrive Careers, MGM. So if you want to ask the pro, ask DB, send in your questions. We'll definitely pose them to the champ as he continues to celebrate his anniversary weekend. Thank you as always for the company. I'm Jason Portuondo. He is Donovan Bailey. Please continue to like, share, follow, download, subscribe. And you know what time it is, DB. Mr. Anniversary, take us out.
It's Mr. Anniversary. Until next time, like, subscribe.
Aye, 984 at the door.